Hi everybody, welcome to Karpool Kahui. Today we're talking about well-being, and we're driving around Timaru and having a conversation about what well-being means. To tell you the truth, I've been doing a lot of thinking about it over the last wee while. Spent a term in 2019 on sabbatical trying to get my thoughts together about what this whole idea about well-being is. And it's interesting, it seems like well-being now, it seems like it's almost like everywhere, isn't it? And everyone's interested in it. And it's almost like it's taken a long time for us to get our heads around why it's actually important. Well, I mean, why has it taken that so long? But anyway, I'm looking for a person who might help us with our conversation a little bit further. And so I'm heading to Timaru Boys High School, just heading down North Street right now. And I'm looking for Sally Hilton because she's got some thoughts about well-being, and I think she'd be a great person to talk to. So, look, she's going to be up here somewhere, I'm sure. And here she is, Sally Hilton. Great! Make sure that she can get in the... Always had that problem unlocking the door for some reason, and I don't really know why. I should get my head around it. Sally Hilton, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Here's a microphone for you.
Thank you.
So, Sally, I've just been telling everyone that in 2019 I spent a bit of time on sabbatical and talking about well-being and trying to get my head around it, and I've got a real sort of passion for it, and so I'm really great to have you here, because I'm sure you do as well. Let's go for a bit of a drive and have a bit of a conversation about well-being. But first of all, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well.
Cool. So you've just been on school holiday, which is great. Good thing about being a teacher is school holiday times.
Absolutely. Time to recharge and just refresh a little bit and reflect a little bit on what's going on. It's wonderful. Wonderful opportunity.
Sure is, and it's like so crucial for your well-being, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am the SENCO and Head of Learning Support at Timaru Boys now. I've been there for several years. I'm also their ESOL teacher, and alongside that I'm a Kahui Arco facilitator.
Right, so how long have you been the facilitator for at Kahui Arco now?
This is into my third year.
3 years?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic opportunity to just broaden things out a little bit and have a wider impact in education across South Canterbury.
And you would have seen sort of quite a difference over 3 years, because at the start it sort of felt a little bit slow, but I guess everything that we did in the very beginning is now bearing fruit now, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, we had to start somewhere, and the place we start is building relationships.
Yeah, true.
So those take time to develop, to nurture. That doesn't happen quickly, but nothing else can happen until that foundation has been laid properly.
Yeah.
And so the first couple of years was very much about building relationships, working together, finding ways to work collaboratively.
Yep.
Because that was a new thing. We're all used to working cooperatively.
Yes.
But working collaboratively and having equal voices across all sectors,
Totally.
and across the whole of our district, was a new thing for us all and a big thing.
And if you think about it, building those relationships is actually key to well-being as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's certainly one of the bigger components of many programs is the time to connect.
Yeah.
And around managing our emotions is that face-to-face contact. It shows us is important.
For sure. So that sort of tells me a little bit about why you think well-being is so important to you. But maybe you can tell us a little bit more about why you chose to be in this collaboration project.
I've worked with students with learning and behaviour challenges for the whole of the time that I've been in teaching, and it's something that I've enjoyed very much. But it can be seen as quite an isolated group of students.
Sure.
And quite hard work in many respects. So to be able to work across sectors and build capacity across whole areas, because if we're getting it right for our hardest kids, we're getting it right for all kids.
That is true.
The ability to break education down further than just academics, but as we look at students' social, emotional and academic growth as they develop all the way through into their later teenage years, we start to have a much bigger impact on turning children into really nice, well-rounded adults. And
That's
so
right,
the more
and
we
making
work
them great
together-
citizens, right?
That's right, because we all share our community. We're all going to be here,
Yep.
and we're, you know, as our children grow up and other people's children grow up, we're all going to share this wider community together. So it's in all of our interests to look after each other long term.
Dead right. So our collaborative group, there's, I don't know, 25 people in it, and
Yep.
it's the secondary people, primary people, early childhood people. We've got some admin people as well.
We have.
What do you hope to achieve with this group?
Well, it's what I would really like to hope is that over time we get to a stage where the well-being of staff and students is given some equal priority. You know, students are obviously schools' priorities. They are what we're there for.
That's right.
That's our core business.
Yeah.
But without staff who are functioning well and feeling good about what they're doing and managing their own well-being, we're going to struggle to help students to manage theirs.
That's
and support
right.
them
It's
to develop
that
their
sort of
skills.
cliche about putting the oxygen mask on the
Absolutely.
pilots first of all. And as a teacher, you're the pilot of your class.
That's right.
As a principal, you're the pilot of your school.
Yeah.
So it's really important that your well-being helps you do your job better.
Absolutely. And so those become deliberate acts of teaching. It becomes an act that we do with conscious thought, and so that supports
Yeah.
our well-being. We are living what we are saying,
Yeah.
and then we can teach the students about what that looks like and how to do that. So we're modelling it through to them as well.
Wow.
So that's all about managing our emotions, you know, looking at what do we need on an individual level, as well as what we know through evidence-based programs,
Yep.
what actually works on a much more macro and global level.
Great. So in 12 months' time, how do you think we will have nailed this? I wonder whether we will have nailed it. I think it's going to be an ongoing process, really, do you think?
I think so. I think as we look at the wider social change around students and communities, I think that this is going to be an ongoing rollout. I don't see it as the kind of thing where we can say, right, we've done it, we've finished it, we've nailed it.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be an ongoing rollout. It's an ongoing awareness.
Yes.
If that place that we start is around kindness and tolerance,
Yeah.
that's a great place to start. That will lead into so many other things. And then as time goes on, that will support the further changes that need to be made.
I like what you're saying there because, you know, a lot of times we think about people just need to harden up and they need to be a bit more resilient. But you talking about kindness and tolerance, if you start there first, then it makes it a lot easier to be resilient, I guess, doesn't it?
Well, I think so, and that might be a boy-girl thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, we do need to start somewhere and harden up and get on with it.
Yeah.
Hasn't necessarily given us great results.
No.
So, as we now know that that's not the answer to all situations, let's try something else. And the more that we try things, we're open to trying, we're open to learning,
Yep.
we're open to giving things a go. That is also, again, a great model to our students, which is we try things and if it doesn't work, we try something else.
That's right.
We
So
don't have a one-stop answer for everything, which is, oh, just shut and get on with it.
that's right. So when we're looking at different models of well-being,
Yeah,
and so one model might work for you, but it might not work for another person.
absolutely.
Is there any model that you think sort of makes a difference for you personally?
Well, I do like the 5 ways to connect. I find that that's got resonance at every level for everybody.
Right.
So that is, what is that? That is get active, it is connect, it is take notice, it is give,
Yep.
and it is...
The last one.
I can't remember. We'll come back to that. So there's
Yeah.
5 ways to wellbeing, and there is also the Te Wharetapa, which is a great one that's been developed in New Zealand, and that is about the 4 pillars of wellbeing, which is also now supported by lots of things that are being done overseas as well. So that's looking at things like family or emotional wellbeing, spiritual, physical and mental wellbeing.
Yeah.
But there's crossovers around all of the different programs.
True.
And I think that first part is around it being a deliberate, conscious act that we recognise
Yes.
that this is something that I've got some control over and I can make some conscious choice.
Yeah.
Rather than it being in a nebulous value of I'm happy or I'm not happy,
True.
that hasn't really shown to work.
No, it just doesn't, does it? It's just, I'm sort of rambling. I'm trying to ramble on here, but not rambling on very well at all. But you're right. We get into this whole thing about are you happy or I'm not happy, and that's where we sort of stop there, and we don't really unpack it any much further. And we see in media all the time, whether it's adverts or whatever like this. This is going to help you be happy. If you do this is going to help you be happy. But in actual fact, we can't be happy all the time, can we?
No, that's right, and that's not a realistic expectation. But if we all have personal traits or processes that we go through which support what we need to get through our days and get through our days well, then those are the things that will make us happier. But yeah, to be happy is unrealistic, and that's a value. That's not really, I don't think, where we should be headed. But certainly the processes around that.
So I guess, what do you think is the flow-on effect going to be from the work that we do to the students in our classes?
Well, I mean, it's what it would be nice to feel is that students have got some greater self-management, that they have got greater emotional understanding of where they're at and what they need to do next. So that will help with that ongoing behaviour management. If students are more under their own self-control, then they are able and willing to learn.
Yes.
So it just shifts the balance from all of these things at the moment being teacher managed to students taking increased agency for their own personal where they're at right now and what do I need to be doing differently. So that they take control of themselves earlier.
And theoretically, if you get that sorted, then the whole academic side's going to make it easier to approach that, isn't it?
Absolutely. When teachers can go back to teaching and learning rather than managing behaviour, we free up an awful lot of time. Yeah,
it's a win-win for everybody, isn't it? And so that should also help our truancy and getting people actually involved and wanting to come to school as well.
Absolutely, and then into the intergenerational, because the students see greater success at school and they enjoy their time at school, they value the education they've received. When they have their own children, that value is supported as they start school.
Sounds like a long-term project, and it can't be just a thing that we're going to do for the next 6 months, is it? Like Wellbeing, we've got to really keep on focusing on it.
That's right. We're not going to see the benefits of this really in 6 months. It'll be great to think that we see some benefit, but realistically this is a long-term project.
Wow, that's so important, isn't it? And it's exciting that we're doing this in the Kahui as well. We're getting 350 people together to talk about this and work on it, all for all the goodness of the Tamariki, I guess.
Absolutely, it's fantastic. It's a great opportunity. Within the achievement challenges we've had a real direct line to make some difference for the students, and we cover all the children in education in any sector across the whole of our region. It's a fantastic opportunity.
Awesome, sounds great. Okay, so I reckon we're just about finished. Easy, eh? Doing that, and I'm just sort of noticed that I was actually driving without my hands on the wheel. That's a little bit scary.
And so that's the 5th one of the ways to wellbeing. I think we missed out. Be active.
I'll be
so
active.
Maybe for you, maybe be an active driver.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Good point. Okay. So the question I like to ask everyone: imagine if this was carpool karaoke, and we had Mark and Hamish, our esteemed leaders. What do you think you'd like to hear them sing?
Oh, I'd love them to have a really good go at something like Bohemian Rhapsody. I'd love for them to get those harmonies up and running.
Oh, yeah.
And let's just see how well they do work together.
I reckon Hamish, he'd get the harmonies right, but Mark, I haven't heard him sing, but that would be, Mark, you need to get your act together. Hey, so thanks very much, Sally. It's been really, really great talking to you. I think we're onto it. The wellbeing is just so crucial, and maybe we get together and have another conversation in a couple of months' time and see where we're going with this whole project. So
that sounds wonderful. It's nice to see you.
Great work. Thanks very much.